Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Solo Leveling Season 1. And this show came out in 2024, and it's already had a second season, and is doing pretty well. It's very popular at the moment, and I can get more into like its popularity when I talk about Season 2, but Season 1 I really enjoyed, and I've seen it before, and I thought it was really good, and I was always intrigued by what it was setting up, and that's a lot of what season one is just setting up a lot of things, and eventually hopefully maybe we'll get a payoff, and I'm pretty sure we'll get more because of it doing very well, and it's very popular like I said already, and I do like this show as it is right now. And season one, I thought was a great start to everything. And one thing that I really like about it are the characters, the protagonist characters. Like, whenever you're supposed to like a character, they're all very likable characters. That much is always done pretty well. And I thought the acting was pretty great. And I also watched the English dub for this show. And of course, everyone knows Alex Lee, who voices Genu Sung, and he does a great job. And I love him as this character. And there's some Dragon Ball Super actors in the show as well, which was kind of fun for me to discover. And I thought the animation looked pretty great. There are times where it does use CG animation, but it was used sparingly at the very least. And when I think of this show, I don't really think of those moments. I think of 2D animation and how great it looked at times. And this show also has some really great action scenes as well. It's not like it has action scene after action scene after action scene every 2 minutes. It's not like, say, Dragon Ball Z, Goku versus Frieza, like that long of an action scene or whatever. But it's fun. It doesn't last too long, and it gives you enough time to really get an understanding of how this world works, and also sets things up for future seasons. I don't think that's really a spoiler. And if you want to get into this show, I would say watch the first 3 episodes, because the first 2 episodes are more or less either establishing this world or universe, whatever you want to call it, and the second episode is just progressing with where we left off, and the third episode is more or less the concept for the show and introducing you to all these different things. And if you're intrigued by it and enjoying it, then it'll be for you. And maybe you might want to go one step further and go to 4 episodes, because I don't really consider this to be much of a spoiler, but there are certain episodes, the third episode included, where they end on a cliffhanger. So just keep that in mind. But for the most part, I wasn't really confused, and the system thing or whatever, the screen that always pops in front of the main character, gives you some nice details as to like how things work. And if you pause and read everything that's on these screens, you get like a better understanding of like the lore and all these cool things to discover. One criticism that I would have is that sometimes the screens would only pop up for like half a second, and it can be really difficult to read sometimes, and you would really have to like pause at the specific moment when it happens. So that might be a criticism for some people. And if you're not a fast reader, you probably won't get a whole lot. And so just keep that in mind. And I do feel as though that could have been a bit better. And there are some lines of dialogue which I thought were kind of cheesy in a way that took me out of the experience. Like, okay, I've definitely heard this before, and that didn't really need to be there. And one other thing that I wanted to mention about the action scenes is that they're very bloody. They don't really hold back, which is awesome. I love that. And I really liked the music in this show. And generally speaking, when it comes to anime, or at least action anime, it kind of boils down to 2 things that people really remember it for. It's the music and the action. And this show does both incredibly well. Like the action scenes are really satisfying and engaging and just what you would want. And the music perfectly complements all these things. And it always feels like it's trying to do something that's trying to stand out and also trying to do something a bit different and not sound like, oh, this is what you would expect from this type of thing, what you're watching. And sure, you could classify it as that in ways, but I don't feel as though it's being dragged down in this show in particular. Like, it always complements it, and I like what it's going for. Maybe the main theme was used a few too many times, but I didn't feel as though it was used inappropriately. And one thing I should probably mention is that I did watch the Blu-ray version of this show, and I thought it looked great. Definitely watch this show on Blu-ray if you have the chance to do so, because it looks pretty good. I like it a lot. And with this show having to set a lot of things up, just for the sake of having things to make sense later on, or just like make sense within this show that everything's being established, I can see some people walking away with it saying like, yeah, there are good things in it. I like the action. I like the characters. I like the music. But as far as a story goes, I was kind of left unsatisfied because it didn't really feel complete, which sure, that's fair because it's only the first season. And it's not really that story focused. There are certain goals for characters, and I'm behind the characters because of that. But I didn't really feel as though that was dragging the show down. It just more or less felt like, yeah, this is what you should be doing in a first season where you have a clear understanding of where to take things. And this show also kind of reminded me a bit of One Punch Man, and there are certain elements where I don't know if I can go as far as saying ripped off, even if it's basically the same thing. But I do feel as though it was kind of just like a little homage to those types of things. It's not like exactly the same as One Punch Man. There are differences. Yeah. I don't feel as though this is a ripoff, personally. I do feel as though this is doing its own thing. And for those who don't know, this first season is 12 episodes long, and I personally didn't really feel as though there was a weak episode anywhere. I felt as though it moved pretty smoothly, and there weren't any moments where I was thinking to myself, this could be a lot better if this and that were changed, because it felt pretty consistent. I was with it and enjoying it. And I would say that maybe the final action scene in the last episode wasn't my favorite in the entire show. I do feel as though the fight scene in the episode previous to that was my favorite. It's definitely probably the most iconic action scene in this entire show, or at least in season 1. But if I were to criticize anything about the show, I guess that would be it for the most part. And one other thing to note is that the last episode does have an after credit scene, so just stick around for that. And I'm not remembering any other after credit scenes for any of the other episodes in season 1. And I should probably mention this as well. I do like anime, and I haven't seen too much. I like Death Note a lot. I think that show's pretty great. I haven't seen Cowboy Bebop yet, but I heard that's supposed to be good, and there's stuff out there that I would like to see at some point. I'm not one of those people who hates anime or just has a hard time getting into it. Or at least I don't think I'm one of those people. So definitely check this show out. I think it's really good, and I would like to see more. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Solo Leveling Season 1 an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below your thought of Solo Leveling Season 1 and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for The Last Showgirl. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.